Good evening. It's election day in the United Kingdom. The polls have just closed. Welcome to the Oasis Centre here in Swindon for Election Live 2015. Very good evening, I'm Alistair Greener. Welcome to Swindonweb TV's live coverage of election 2015. It's a very exciting night. It's probably one of the most unpredictable elections in recent years. Some are saying even up to 60 years. So we're going to be here the whole night to give you live coverage from here at the Oasis Centre and let you know the very latest news as and when it happens. And here is the returning officer. Justin Tomlinson has he's coming up onto the stage. Did anyone else notice what I've just seen? He had a bit of a piece of paper, almost like it was a script for a speech. Did anyone else notice that?
So therefore, I do hereby declare that Justin Paul Tomlinson is duly elected as Member of Parliament for Swindon North.
As a local resident, I'm exceptionally proud to have been given another opportunity to represent our fantastic town. And I'd like to thank all of my opponents. We fought a good, clean, positive campaign. And whilst we don't agree politically, we all remain good friends. And throughout this campaign, I've been overwhelmed with the huge amounts of cross-party support, not just traditional Conservatives, but people from all political backgrounds lending me their support, and I am proud to have been given that opportunity. This opportunity is something that I will seize, and I will work my very hardest to always put Swindon first. Thank you, Swindon.
We are the first news organisation to bring you both candidates.
Yes.
First, Justin, congratulations. Returned as the MP for North Swindon. And we were just doing a bit of number crunching there with Robert. I mean, an increased majority and a bigger gulf than ever between you and the Labour Party. This obviously bodes well for Robert as well in his seat.
Well, I mean, I'm actually the only Conservative MP in the country at the moment,
yes,
so that's
yeah.
an honour that I've never had. This is, I'm totally overwhelmed. I was shaking on that stage, and it was beyond my wildest dreams. But all the way through the campaign, it felt better than we saw on the doors. And look, Robert's next. I've got so many friends and people I know in South Swindon. They've all said what a fantastic MP he is. I have absolutely no doubt he will be joining me. He will have a fantastic result to follow.
Well, first of all, congratulations, not just on being returned as the MP for North Swindon, but also being the first Conservative MP. I'm sure David Cameron will be buying you an extra drink or maybe another rosette.
I will text him now to get that organised. But it will be Arkles, of course.
Oh, very good. Nice local connection.
Absolutely, freebies.
Thank you very much indeed.
And I do hereby declare that Robert James Buckland is duly elected as Member of Parliament for South Swindon.
Thank you very much. Thank you. My thanks to the returning officer and to his truly brilliant team, and also to the police for keeping us all safe tonight, and to my amazing South Swindon Conservative team. This result didn't happen because we turned up at election time. It happened because we turn up all the time. It is a privilege to be the MP for South Swindon. It is a privilege to serve as a minister in a Conservative-led government. And now it's time to get on with the hard work.
Two parliamentary seats up for grabs. Both have gone to the Tories. They've remained in Tory control. One with an increased majority, that's North Swindon, and South Swindon round about the same for Robert Buckland, the same majority that he had last time. The council elections, of course, are happening here at the same time this evening. We've just heard the returning officer asking for the candidates and agents to go and meet him at the stage. And about 3 seats have been called already. And of course, the reason this is really important is, although there's only 1 seat per ward up for grabs, of course, what's really, really important is who's going to be in overall control of the council tomorrow morning. At the moment, it's held by the Tories by a majority of 3. Will that be the case tomorrow morning? Hello, welcome back on what's been a dramatic night here in Swindon. We're just hearing some of the council election results coming through. No real big surprises, very much in line with the previous results. We heard David Renard, who is of course the leader of the Conservative group and the leader of the council, has just been re-elected. And talking about re-elections, I'm now joined by Robert Buckland, who has been re-elected in Swindon South. It was a knife-edge seat, but in the end he actually maintained his majority. Robert, lovely to see you and congratulations.
I'm delighted. In fact, I increased my majority substantially, and I'm delighted to have won by a plurality of 12 percentage points. It's a real vindication, not only for the hard work that my team and I have been doing over the last few years, together with my friend and colleague Justin Tomlinson in the north, but also a vote of confidence in the future and the plan that the Conservatives have to offer for economic stability, for security, and for how we're going to pay for the public services that we value.
The local council elections, it's pretty much the same. The Conservatives have, I'm just keeping an eye to my left here actually because of the returning officer coming up with the last few results for the council elections. A bad night for the Lib Dems. They've lost 2 seats tonight. They've lost 1 to Labour and 1 to the Tories, which means that the Tories' lead is actually the same as it was before, but very much at the expense of the Lib Dems. So not a happy Stan Paycheck tonight. And we've got Old Town and St Andrews here just about to come up in a second. So that was the first one that they lost, and then the Liberal Democrats also lost a seat in Escott as well. Interesting enough, watching the UKIP vote, it's actually held up pretty much, not quite as much, but not far off last year's local elections. So it was almost like when it came to the national elections, UKIP were pushed and squeezed quite a bit. But when it came to the local elections, UKIP again came back and did a little bit better than they did nationally. So that's something to interest and watch in the future.
And I do hereby declare that Julie Wright is duly elected as member for the Central Ward. And I do hereby declare that Fionnuala Mary Foley is duly elected as councillor for Chiseldon and Lawn. And I do hereby declare that John Borman is duly elected as member for Gorse Hill and Pinehurst. And I do hereby declare that Teresa Jessica Page is duly elected as member for Penhill and Upper Stratton. And I do hereby declare that Claire Ann Ellis is duly elected as member for Old Town. And I do hereby declare that Mary Elizabeth Friend is duly elected as councillor for St Andrews Ward. And I do hereby declare that Dale James Heenan is duly elected as member for Cobingham and Dorking.
That was the last result of the council elections. What we can tell you is, as a result of all of those elections, pretty much as expected here in Swindon. The status quo is exactly the same. The Tories have a 3-seat lead over Labour, but at the expense of the Liberal Democrats. Both the Tories and the Labour Party gained seats from the Liberal Democrats, so they are really the losers here tonight. So that's really it from us here at the Oasis Centre in Swindon. Thank you so much indeed for joining us. Thank you for all your various messages on Twitter and email and so on. We'll be back soon with more Swindonweb TV coverage in association with VideoWorks. In the meantime, for myself, Alistair, and all of us, to all of you, get some sleep tonight, and we'll see you all again tomorrow and find out what happens. Good night.